Hey guys, what's up? It's Shla. And today I think we have finally reached the point where the entire setup is finally squared away. I can finally see the microphone program and see that it is recording and that all the... wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Hey guys, what's up? It's Shla, and today I'm bringing you another episode of Car Rides Wit SLA. And today, we finally have the setup squared away. I didn't really check the camera positioning though, so that may be off, but it is very weird rain this morning. It's strange rain is what it is. I didn't really check the positioning, but I mean, I think it's okay. If anything, it almost looks like it's angled down a little bit too much, but from my experience, that's usually, I can't really adjust it. So I guess we'll just have to see. Again, this whole using the rear camera thing, it's a lot. It's a lot of sacrifices just for presumably minor things that I don't even know. It does beg the question of whether it's worth it or not. It really does. Time will tell, I suppose. Time will tell. I don't know what there is to talk about. Well, I always say that, but of course there's something to talk about. I just feel a lot of pressure. I feel a lot of pressure due to just kind of what's going on, the vibes of things, economy, etc. I really indulged, and I don't even know how fair it was for me to indulge, because a lot of people can't. A lot of people can't even indulge. Am I grateful enough? All these questions that have been going through my head. It is good, though, that Car Rides Wit SLA is becoming more natural for me. I think that's the true intent, right? For it to blend in, for it to become routine. That was always the idea. I do want to mention, I do probably have to adjust the positioning of the phone a little bit, but for now it's okay. So we're not going to worry about it, but I probably will need to adjust it a little bit. It's a little bit close to the steering wheel, and it's also blocking the car's display, but not that I even use that for anything anyway, but it's there. I guess to check the time. To check the time is the biggest fee. Yeah, I know you want to get a Land Rover with all that crazy features it comes with. I'm probably not even going to use. Yep. Very consistent. Look, design, sometimes you got to do it for the design. I don't know that I will appreciate all the extra features. In all honesty, I just don't know that I will. When I get it, of course, and not if, when. Not if, when. I guess what I mean by I don't really have anything to say is I feel like there's not much topic that I have to talk about. I don't know. I just think I'm in it for the long haul now. It's a period of life that is going to be a bit boring, if that's the right word. Time's going by quickly though, so I don't know if boring. Trying, testing. It's just going to be a long time to see when something's going to come of all the work I'm doing. And so you have to see from my perspective, I am pouring into the void right now. I mean, I'm making a lot of content. I don't have the viewers yet the viewers that I want. But I'm still going to be out here and doing it, and we'll have to see. Because I do think with the nature of my content, it does need to show history, commitment, and consistency. And there's no other way to show that other than time. So I just have to give it time. But right now we're at rock bottom. At least, you know what though? We're in the tunnel. There's the light at the end of the tunnel. I see the light at the end of the tunnel, but we're still in the tunnel and it's towards the beginning. It's there. At least I can see it now, because before we weren't even in the tunnel. So we were walking through the sewers, and you know how there's all those tunnels up in the sewers, and you look and you look and you keep looking, and it's just all pitch black. And then you finally keep walking and you see one of the tunnels in the sewers is light, brightness. And you just want to chase it. You just want to, but it's far. It's a distant light at the end of the tunnel. It's very distant. So that's the thing. That's where I'm at. Life seems relatively good, but I do want to enter less of an indulgent period and be more reserved and responsible and all that stuff. I have all the equipment I need, so let's just focus on the work and refining and all that. That's really the moment that we're in, and we obviously have to see how it goes. I don't know, right? But it's going to be a lot of repetition. It's going to be... Well, I mean, I'm saying this, and technically, I don't know. I mean, I'm saying it, but things could come sooner than I think. It's not like... I mean, I'm kind of thinking it's going to take about a year, but I don't want to, like, limit that as the threshold or anything like that, right? It's like, yeah, like if it comes sooner, bring it sooner, you know, don't keep holding back. But yeah, I mean, I guess in my head I think it's going to take about a year of doing this with no tangible, like, hey, here's this reward for your trouble. Like, no, I'll get it eventually, but it's not going to be yet. So that's kind of the whole thing, right? And this is where we're at. We're in the long haul. The long haul. It's funny, like, I'm saying all this, but technically it may not be the long haul. Like, technically, you could blow up any time, really. So I don't know why. But you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. It's probably going to be the long haul. And as hopeful, and at least I have a goal to work towards now, which is so nice. And I should just be grateful for that, because a lot of people, even at my age, still have no idea what they want to do or what they should do. So the fact that I do know that, I should just be grateful for, even though I'm kind of mad I didn't know sooner. I mean, really, I think it's another one of those things where I'm judging myself pretty hard that, like, I didn't know what I wanted to do sooner in life. But again, I'm sure if you look at other people, they are worse. Like, it probably takes some people longer, and even some people who do know what they want to do and go through with it, then they end up... I mean, basically my sister, what she went to college for, didn't end up... as far as I know, I don't really know, but I guess I don't really want to speak on her because I don't really know, but I'm saying I don't know her deepest thoughts, but that's just the impression I get. She went to college for something and it wasn't really the thing that they're going to end up going through with. I don't know. A lot of people do that. So with me, even though I didn't go to college, at least in a way, it kind of saved me, right? In a way. Well, we want to hope that. I'm sort of having a conversation in my head right now. I don't really feel like this episode's going that well, so I'm like, basically what I'm saying is, it's nice to think that there's some bigger plan to the fact that I didn't end up going to college, even though I probably should have. I probably belonged in college because I'm pretty smart. Although the problem is, I do think I learn through voice and sound and maybe even sight. The way that I operate and take in information, this is something I was actually just thinking about yesterday. Yeah, so now finally, like, up until this point, guys, sorry, I was just running my mouth. There was no good content for the past, I think it was like about 10 minutes. I don't even know. Yeah, this recorder doesn't say. Oh, no, it does. 11. Sorry. It does. I just didn't see where it was. It's kind of small. Kind of a weird recorder, but it works pretty well. It works well enough. And it's compatible with iOS and Android, so I wanted to get used to something that, regardless of... Because I do think I'm probably going to switch to Android at some point. I don't know if I talked about that, but the file system is better. So I'm probably going to switch there because it's going to be easier to get the files onto my computer. This guy is really tailgating me. I'm not really happy about it because there's this turn before you go on the highway, and it's not really a pleasant turn to go down. So I like to take it a little slower and easier because it's a sharp turn, and he was just really on my tail. I have no idea why. Just a white F-150, nothing too crazy, although another truck that is driving really poorly, so take note of that. Oh, and now I forgot my main thing I was going to talk about. No, I didn't. Trust me, I'm not that out. Well, no, I do feel kind of out of it. I don't really feel that great right now. Like, I'm still showing up for the recording, but like, I need to stop with this, with the likes. I need to stop with that. It's just because I'm starting to get in my locked in and my like blah, 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 kind of like vibe, and that's when the fillers come in. So what I'm talking about is, and I was thinking about this yesterday, so I basically just realized that you guys are getting it firsthand. I haven't told anybody this, but you guys are getting it firsthand. I think that, because I've always been smart, but I did okay in school, but I didn't really do well. If that makes sense. I had like a 3 GPA, which is like okay considering I basically did 0. It's always like the efficiency metric, like the amount of work I did was 0, and then I still had a 3 GPA. Like, a lot of people would put in a lot of effort just to get a 3, whereas it just was never like that for me. Like, I made it through school, never studied, never took notes in class. I never did any of that stuff. But I wasn't good at school, you know? And I was always, now that I'm older, I'm thinking about that. Now that I'm trying to, I guess, own my intellect a little more. Because, again, I'm starting, like, I think the whole being humble thing is fine, and it's good to be humble, but it's also good to accept, like, something that's true and accurate. I don't really know how good it is if I am smart and I'm purposely trying to undersell that and be under-aware of that, just because people are kind of weird when it comes to, oh, you're smart? And that's what it's been based around, is other people and thinking what's most compatible with other people, which is obviously always masking yourself as being less than them, because people like that. People feel comfortable with that, wanting to be, you know, better than the person they're talking to, basically. Or equal-ish. Depends on the dynamic, though. I mean, presumably you'd want parents to be better than you. So it depends, but I'm saying for the most part in casual passing, people want to feel like they're better than you. Or at least that's what the way people treat me. Like, when I do cut through a good argument, people don't like it. People just never like it. I mean, I'm really good at arguing and debating, but people are just totally not. It just doesn't matter to people. I think you could be like a really skilled debater, and it just doesn't even seem to faze people or matter. Like, I don't know. Not even that I try to change people's minds. It's just a lot of times people have really stupid takes, and then I try to reel it in, and it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So what we were getting at, because that was a whole other side tangent. I should have been good at school. I don't know why I wasn't. And I'm thinking about it now, and it is just possible that my way of learning is just very speech-based. So sitting in a class, I'm able to soak up what the person's saying pretty well and pay attention pretty well and remember pretty well, without needing to write it down or take notes. But the thing is, for me, taking notes is kind of not, I don't really like that. I never did. Studying, it just doesn't, I don't know, like it doesn't really work that well. I think for me, things that I learn to be taught, that are taught like verbally, are good. If that makes, no, that that is not the best way I could say that. So what I'm thinking of is when, because again, a lot of, during this episode, I wish I could also record my thoughts, because I'm having a conversation with my thoughts, but I'm only putting some of the words out, because that's only half of the conversation. But you guys obviously don't see that, so it probably just sounds kind of jumbled. I still think it's an interesting thing to record. I mean, even if it's not a good episode, it's an interesting thing to record, to see that. What I'm thinking of is, in English class, we had vocabulary cards, for example. And so that's a lot of like repetitive studying. You know, you just look at the card, look at the definition. And I just feel like I wasn't really that efficient at that. Now, again, this is another situation where it's like, okay, you're not efficient at it, but what about compared to other people? Like, maybe I am, but we're talking about comparatively between methods of learning that I engage in, is what we're trying to get at. So it's possible I am a better studier than most people. It's possible I'm a better reader. But what I'm saying is, in a side-by-side comparison between, we're just talking about me and my learning potential, the paths that are the most or least beneficial, I always, or well, I didn't always know this because I was just thinking about it, but I think things that are just like memorizing like that, I'm really leaning into the likes this morning. I'm not happy about it because yesterday I think I barely used it. I thought yesterday, well, I actually think the night episodes are better. At first I thought the morning ones were better. Now I think the night ones are. I don't really know why. Because usually in the morning is when I'm thinking deeper, but I haven't been thinking deep recently. So I think it's just slashing into, I'm not cultivating the morning energy properly. Plus, I have just felt kind of overwhelmed now. I mean, when I was first doing Car Rides Wit SLA, it was pretty exciting, and it still is. I'm still happy to, like I said, I mean, I'm not going to not do it. It's just, I guess what I'm worried about is the quality consistency. But of course, that's something that's only going to get better with time, and really with any show, you can't. It's always something I think about, but it is true. I can't really nitpick over that too much, because you sometimes you don't have good episodes. You can't. Every episode is not going to be a good episode, and that's just how it is in any show, any person, no matter how good they are. But we are in the refinement phase, so it's okay. It's okay for now. I have to keep telling myself that. It's fine. Nobody watches these anyway. Nobody's ever going to find this. So, I feel like so is also a filler that I use too much, but it's tricky with those ones because those are, you sometimes do have to use them, and I thought in a previous recording I had been omitting it, and then there's just a pause of silence, which maybe isn't a problem, but I feel like sometimes you have to connect things. So, see, like, is that a filler, or is it actually the right word? Because it's like sometimes you have to connect things. So, no, it probably isn't. Because I probably could say sometimes you have to connect things to avoid the silence. And what instead I could have done is I could have said sometimes you have to connect things, take a pause to figure out what I'm saying, and then just say to avoid the silence. I'm pretty sure that sounds better, and I think that is what I should be going for. Sorry, just a quick thought. Quick thoughts by SLA. You know what I mean? So I have to figure this stuff out. I have time to. I mean, it's going to take time. I mean, it's something most people probably don't put any effort into. So, it's probably something most people don't put any effort into. Then again, most people are not going to be in this situation where their whole life is hedging on how good of a communicator they can become. Something to keep in mind. I think in that instance, it would have been okay. I could have said, so that's something to keep in mind, and that's not just using so as a filter. Filler. Filter? What am I saying? Filler. That's the thing with words. And I wonder, even there, I wanted to say because that's the thing with words, but is that another thing we can just omit and just say that's the thing with words? Yeah, probably. It probably sounds better. I'm going to have to look into this because I don't want to be cultivating a style that turns out to not be a good thing. Like, maybe I should use some of those words. Or it's possible I should omit all of them. Because in general, I don't really see what they add to a conversation. It's just repetitive words that are getting thrown in there. And I think having a moment of silence, it's less stimulating. Well, then maybe people wouldn't like it. Because nowadays, it's all about stimulation. And even in the songs that are out, they're usually filling out every quiet moment with as many ad-libs or backing vocals as they can. So it's possible that pausing is not really the vibe. I think it's better, though. I'm going to have to look into it, and I hope I actually do. Because I get all this stuff recorded, like I said, but then it doesn't materialize because I don't actually listen to it. Because it's a lot, and I already explained, if I didn't have a job, I'd probably be able to, but It's rough. We're working very efficiently though. I think I'm doing just about the most I can in my situation. I actually think I'm being very productive. The only thing that I'm not being productive in is cleaning my room and being organized. But I'm very organized in a lot of other ways, just not physically. That's something to take note of, I think. Because I wouldn't say I'm not an organized person. I don't think that's accurate at all. I'm actually more planning oriented and executing those plans than a lot of people. I would say so. But not when it comes to, okay, well, all my stuff in my room, is that organized? No, my rooms, I've always been cluttered with all the stuff I have. I've never just not been cluttered. It always happens. It always happens, the clutter. What we were talking about was my different way of learning, which I think is mostly speech-based. I think I listen to a lot of podcast speeches. I can remember them pretty well, probably better than a lot of people do. So that was always my favorite part about school, was not the test part, but the part where you're learning and the teacher's talking to you. And not everybody's necessarily like that. Some people, I think it's boring to them to sit in class and have to pay attention. For me, that was the best part. And I actually missed that a lot because it felt like there was purpose in that. But for me specifically, like I'm just trying to describe, I think everybody's different. Some people don't care and just want to blow off the teacher, but oh no, it looks like there's terrible traffic. Well, I was probably hoping there wasn't going to be that, but what can you do? I have no idea. I don't know what happened. What I was going to say is I was hoping that there wasn't bad traffic because I'm not really in the mood for it today. I mean, we're here, we're doing Car Rides Wit SLA, but I was kind of hoping it just got over with. It's never like this. How is that happening? I kid y'all not. Because this is Tuesday, the next day. It's only been a week since I got caught up in traffic And the thing is, too, if I was using the GPS, I probably could have avoided it. But I'm not doing that anymore. And I guess that's the problem. I may have to go back to using the GPS again. It's not that I can't. Essentially, I already thought of everything in my head, but I have to remember, convert thought into voice. It's just so much faster to think of things, and I have so much to say. It's sometimes hard to keep up. I could learn to talk faster, but it's also hard. The conversion of thought into word is hard. Well, that's another thing that it's probably... I'm saying it's hard, but it probably comes a lot easier to me than other people, but it's still hard. But I have to remember to do that. And hopefully talking faster will get us there. Essentially, I use the 16 Pro as the camera. I still have my 14 Plus around usually. And I could connect both of the hotspots. Connect the 14 Plus to the 16 Pro Max's hotspot, and that would work if I did that. So I could still have, because I have my old MagSafe car phone holder still there. So I could use that one just for GPS, just to see about traffic. So I should have mentioned, I do have 3 phone holders in my car now, because one is for the camera, one is just a MagSafe one I have because, I don't know, nobody wants it, so what am I going to do with it? And then we have the new one that goes in the car vent, and that's for... It looks like the traffic is kind of clearing up a little bit, but I'm still going to end up getting to work on the later end. You know, it doesn't really matter, though. I need to get over it. I think I've explained this before, but for me, I don't have a problem with traffic from the patient's aspect of it. It's not like it bothers me to have to sit in traffic, especially when I have my show. The problem is it's putting extra wear on the car, and I think that's very frustrating and annoying. But hey, the way I have to look at it, I know I'm going to be rich, so why does it matter? I think that's really the short of it. I shouldn't really... I mean, I can't do anything about it, so there's no point in getting upset about it. I've already explained my theories about why traffic is a thing and how I think it's the government's fault for not having some kind of regulation to solve the congestion. I think that's easily just the paramount issue. I like that word, paramount. I know I used it once in last episode, and I think it's got a good ring to it. I don't know why this person is just they're being really annoying to me. They're like, not, like they weren't letting me go. I think it's the government's fault. I think it's people's fault. Yeah, the two. Like, yeah, what isn't the government's and or people's fault? Like, oh my gosh. What am I talking about? I did notice I used the filler. I just wanted to... I don't even think I remember what I was going to say now. What was I talking about? Oh, yes. But I haven't been doing that because since the phone is new, I want to try to keep it in as good shape as possible. And using the hotspot uses a lot of battery life on top of recording. And what I've been doing now is just switching it onto airplane mode. Because I like that. Because it's and I'm sure, I mean, I haven't verified this, but my assumption is that a phone with airplane mode on, especially when going through a car, could save a pretty considerable amount of battery life. In a car, you're going through so many different cell pickup, drop off, cell signals rapidly as you're driving. I mean, I actually don't even know how it works, but this is just my fantasy of how a cell phone grabs cell signals. So I would think specifically in a vehicle, if you turn your cellular off, it should save a pretty considerable amount of battery life, enough to be noticeable. I'm going to verify that, though. I think I'm going to verify it. Just thinking, sorry. I'm just thinking. What was I getting at? What was I getting at, to be honest? Yeah, so I have a new phone, and I don't want to use it like that because it's going to drain the battery, and I'm very OCD about keeping my batteries in good health. Keeping it around, at first I thought it was like as close to 50 as possible. So I would try to do between 40 and 60%. Although now I don't really think that's accurate. And this kind of makes sense to me too, but it seems like the actual healthiest range is probably erring on the side of lower. It's probably more like 35 to 55 as opposed to 40 to 60. So that's kind of something I've kept in mind. But still in general, I mean, I don't go that crazy about it. Sometimes, like last night, I did think I got into the high 20s, for example. Not great, but it's, you know, I'm not super strict about it. But typically, I'm in the 30s to the 60s. I try to kind of keep it in that range. It's something I try to keep on top of, but don't go crazy about. I definitely don't go above 80, and I definitely try to keep it above 20 for sure, but I do try to keep it closer to the healthy range. So I'm thinking about it though, and probably I'm not really sure how worth it is, because I do enjoy being able... Sorry, I'm like trying... I had my signal on, and this guy was like really being dumb. He was like going way too fast. Like I literally had my signal on for so long. I had to like push it to get in front of him. Doesn't make any sense. I just saw someone make a close call merge. They could have hit someone. That's not fun. I have no idea why the traffic was like that, because I thought there would have been an accident or something. There's no accident. I come through here every morning. I've never encountered that. Never. That's what I was going to say earlier with Car Rides Wit SLA. When I wasn't recording, I don't think there was one morning I encountered traffic. I don't think it was one morning. Isn't that something? And now that I'm recording, basically, I mean, it wasn't right when I started recording, but it was pretty close. It was pretty close to right when I started recording. And I have 2 traffic jams on camera now. Well, and actually that's a good thing, because I think I said before, it is better to have the show to do as opposed to just sitting in traffic and getting nothing done. At least it makes me feel more productive. It makes me feel better. It's just today was not really the day, because I'm not in as... Obviously, that other time the traffic jam happened, I was in a pretty good mood. So I was able to kind of be all like, yeah, you know, it's all good. I'm gonna rise above. I'm gonna do... Today wasn't really like that, but hey, at the same time, I still kind of did, because it wasn't like I was that upset. I'm pretty happy, so I don't think anything's too crazy. Whoa, I'm not really... Well, it was still actually pretty good braking, but I like very perfect gradual braking. And sometimes catches me off guard a little bit. What was I going to say? Did we ever even get to really get into the learning differential, like how my optimal way of learning is different than most people? We didn't even get into that. Probably next episode if I remember, because at this point we're almost there. So if I remember, I guess that's a topic to get into tonight. And if I think about anything else to talk about, of course we can. We will have to wait and see. We will just have to wait and see. But yeah, my mood was off. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if I should apologize for that or what, but it is supposed to be a raw experience. And if you were talking to somebody, it's not like you would always have, like, it's not like every episode would be good. So I think I'm just totally... Anyways, TLDR's Wit SLA. Today we talked about some additional improvements to the recording setup in the car. We kind of figured everything out and got that squared away. Then we began to talk about how my mood was a little bit off. I'm a little bit out of it. Wasn't really feeling it this morning. We ran into some congestion, which, of course, very ironic timing of that, because of any day, today I would really prefer not to. And last and certainly not least, we talked about the way I learned differently, but we didn't really get into that, and then we ended up talking about something else that I don't really remember. Anyways, bye, SLA! Too much SLA! SLA out! I was forgetting my thing.